The player is moving the bridge, and Indy's reacting to the moving bridge all by himself.
Yeah,
Euphoria literally gives him a skeletal system, a sense of himself, and he knows how to react. So you can see he's grabbing on all by himself.
Yeah.
You can imagine how difficult it would be for an animator to animate all this, because you never know what's going to happen. You'd have to animate every possibility. Here you can see we made it a little more difficult, so we're throwing rocks. So you'd have to animate him falling forward, falling backwards, falling up. Protecting himself from the rocks, because you never know where the rocks are going to fall. There's nothing controlling Indy. He is reacting to his environment, the bridge, the rocks, all by himself because of Euphoria. If you really think about what you're seeing, it is not very exciting, right? The artist takes a regular piece of board, he takes a broken piece of board, and at the right time, he swaps it out. So it looks like you're breaking it. But notice, no matter where Troy throws the ball, actually a little Death Star, to the top, to the bottom, the left, or the right, it breaks the same way every single time, no matter where he throws it, no matter what kind of wood. DMM allows us to have the most realistic materials you've ever seen. So it's actually going to break, and as you're going to see it here, this is DMM wood, with obviously a bad example. There we go. So we're throwing R2s, and you see it's actually bending and splintering and breaking just like real wood. And this kind of wood, you know, say this is a soft wood, but a really hard piece of wood might not break at all. You may have a character bounce off the wood. It acts just like the real kind of wood, and it's not just wood.
This is something that comes very visually, and it's good to play. But you know what I would like to know is how about the sound? I mean, the sound has to be really clicking at this part.
Absolutely. Well, you know, working at LucasArts in Skywalker sound, you know, we always have the best sounds in our movies and in our games.
I know.
So you can hear the wood now actually sounding too, just like real wood would do. And as I mentioned, it's not just wood. We have thousands of materials in our library, which will act. So let's move on and see something else.
Okay, here's glass.
Here's glass. So again, not just the same break every time. He threw it at the bottom broke out, the top fell on top of it. Again, different every single time. We'll get a new piece of glass up there, try it again.
And even the light is reflecting.
Absolutely. We'll show you some really good examples of light in a second. Let's move on a little bit and go to, here's a compound material. So there's a stone statue on the top, crystals on the bottom. So depending on where he breaks it, you'll see it react differently. So he breaks the crystals, and the stone stays together on the top. He can probably get it to fall down, but stays as one piece, just like true stone would do. If he then sets it up again and does the stone, you can see him break the stone. The stone falls off by itself and causes the crystal to crumble. Let's keep moving on. We'll look at, here's a character we all recognize from the Star Wars universe, our friend Jar Jar. So here we have Jar, you know, we don't know what carbonite acts like, so we've created here to look like metal. You can see it's denting and bending, just like metal would do.
Can you hit it from the side?
Absolutely. You can go to the side. The whole thing is going to act just like real metal. Now, suppose George says, you know what, that's not what carbonite acts like. Maybe it's more like, you know, graphite. So we can, on the fly, change the properties of the material to now act like graphite.
Awesome.
And these are real-world materials, so you actually have to design them to work just like they would in the real world. If you put a very heavy weight on top of the graphite, it would just collapse.
More of that coming up.
The surface tension of the ice as it slides on the ground is just like wet, real ice. We'll load it up again, take another shot. But again, even the ice breaking just like real ice. Now, you know, as I said, we can do any kind of material we want. We've had a little bit of fun with it. So one of our favorites is we've actually made a giant.
Let me guess. The jelly.
Woo!
The jelly, I love it.
It's the Jar Jar gummy bear for being, you know, in Germany. So you see, even jelly, even gummy material looks just like it does. You know, it would act in real life. And you see. Did you notice when he changed it to jelly, it actually sagged? Because it's supporting its own weight. So it actually sagged down when it went from ice to jelly.
Can you hit it from the side as well?
Absolutely.
It's awesome. From the back? Oh, look at. Awesome. The reflections are awesome.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to actually see an environment that could be used actually in the upcoming Star Wars game. We're going to jump into this little natural history museum here. We have obviously a giant Rancor skeleton, much bigger than you've probably seen in the movies.
That's what I had yesterday for dinner.
Delish.
Was good.
Tastes like chicken. But you'll see, as Troy breaks the skeleton, the bones are going to react just like bones. You see the dust, so you can imagine how this would play in the game. You've never seen anything as realistic like this in a video game. Again, more like a simulation.
And even this maybe it looks a little bit slow, the slow movement, but this is actually the way it would move.
Well, if something this big, obviously, you know, it's gigantic, and when you knock out just part of it, once that weight sort of falls on itself, that's you see it react just like it would.
Takes some time till it's down.
Yeah. So we have one more little environment to look at. What we're going to do is break through the glass here and look at something you might recognize from the Star Wars movies. This is the planet of Fallujah, which you saw just for a quick second in the Episode 3 movie. Full of plant life.
It might be. I'm not exactly.
Remember when the Jedis were all getting taken out in Order 66? You saw this plant, yeah. But the point of seeing this is it's organic material as well will act just like real organic material. So these plants, you see them undulating and moving and swaying with the weight. So you can, I'm sure it's not very difficult to imagine in a video game having like that Rancor walking through a forest of trees and with all this foliage.
But this takes a lot of CPU power, I guess.
Well, right now it'll be optimized for the game.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
It looks awesome.
Yeah. So it's something we're really, really excited about.
But when we're talking about the game, I mean, you won't, you could, you can't, you don't, you just don't. You can't tell us the name. You can't tell us the date.
I can tell you what I hope the name is.
Okay, go ahead.
Is Matt Shell's video game. That's what I'm.
Where's the Star Wars part in it?
Yeah, I haven't. I haven't been able to work that in yet.
Maybe you can combine these letters and get some Star Wars out of it, but I don't think so. So you don't know the name as well. You know maybe the date? No.
No, I don't know the date either.
But the system.
But we know it's coming out soon. Yeah, we do. No, actually, we don't. We're not even.